My point is not to overinvest in what's upcoming. My point is to invest in today. The business world thinks it's tomorrow. That's where all my delta is. TikTok's not tomorrow. I think you should spend 60% of your marketing budget on TikTok today. All of it. Like 60% of, like the whole thing, maybe 80. You know, like, and by the way, Becky is amongst every other marketer on earth that would think that it wouldn't even cross one's mind. It's not how it works. It's very hard to make that jump. My point is, TikTok's not tomorrow. The answer to your question is, I have no idea. I don't predict. I'm not Nostradamus. I know my track record. I know why people follow me. But I'm just talking about today. I'm just lucky that the world is stuck on yesterday. I didn't know Google AdWords was gonna change my life. They came out, I played with it the first day, and I took my dad's liquor store from a $3 to a $70 million business in 4 years with no money. It just, I don't know what, the second I saw TikTok, it was Musical.ly when I saw it. I'm always paying attention, but whether it's Be Real, and then I'm like, nah, whether it's, I'm watching everything. I look at the top 100 apps in the Apple store every morning when I wake up to see if anything's spiking. And the way I found Snapchat and the way I found Musical.ly was it was there before anybody was reporting on it. And after it was there for 4 weeks, I'm like, something's here, I download it, and now I have so much pattern recognition and I understand human behavior naturally, and now I've done it for so long. I have a good feeling often, is this sticky or is this a 2-week thing? But I don't speak about it, even if, when I saw Snapchat, I'm like, this is it. Because I know that high school kids don't want their parents to know what they're texting. Wasn't super complicated. Like, here's a good value prop. You don't want your mom to take your phone to see what you've been talking about, so use Snapchat so she can't. Pretty easy to understand that was gonna be valuable to kids, And so, I think, but I didn't talk about it for a full year. I don't wanna guess because it would undermine my reputation. But I'm in everything, always. And so the answer to the question is, it's in the nuances right now. YouTube Shorts is very good and underpriced because YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world. And so we can win twice, where with TikTok, we can only win once. We post, boom. Yeah, there's some searching going on. You've probably seen headlines, Gen Z uses TikTok to search. I get it, yes. YouTube is way bigger. And so the same video on YouTube, if it does well, you might also get work from that asset for the rest of the year, especially if you go into how-to and things that people search. So we train at Sasha and VaynerMedia, make the content that you wanna make, but on the back end, title it for search, even if it's not directly correlated to the video, so that we win the search game. Yep. Those are things I think about. And then it's also, the other thing I think about strategically is media and creative together against a business result. So one of you opens a new account that's meaningful, and we're being tested for 9 weeks, and it really matters. I wanna run media and creative in a 5-mile radius of all 41 doors. So getting sales and marketing to team up more specifically against truth of business is very passionate part of this for me as well, right? You get, you got a nasty phone call today. The buyer of XYZ says, if you don't buck up, what do we go to? Pour money into Shopper, not me. I wanna not do that. That just gets us further down the path of our death. I wanna run ads on social on a 1 to 2 mile radius of the 29 locations we need to fix. So it starts to become surgical. Like, again, back to another thing that I'm building now currently on my belief on this, I'm now up to 7 full-time employees who I pay very handsomely, especially the top 3, who are just mapping the 40 million people that follow me and putting them one by one into a CRM, shirt size, shoe size, favorite foods, like a database that's so bananas, because that's the weapon. That's the weapon. When I decide to get into another business and I can click one button and have 47,000 people that like bananas and I have their address, I can sell my bananas to them. And when I say sell, give them the bananas with the hope that 3% of them post, because that arbitrage against my costs will create enough demand for what I'm trying to accomplish. Humans are the next social media. I'll give you one that I would do at scale with your product. I would do a lot more live events where people can get the product, trial, and I would film it because people will come up to your booth or your activation and give you endorsements, and then you can chop that up and use it on social. So the content that you're recording at the event is worth more than the cost of the entire event. It's almost like the event is free. It's turning an event into a production facility, and it's the best content that will work on social. So it's 10 times better than the shelfie. So you put on an event at a, right? It's a
BeautyCon,
yeah, but to that point, if you filmed every second of BeautyCon and left with 912, ads, social media posts for the year, that made the BeautyCon investment 10 times better. And then again, let's talk business. We're losing at Publix in Florida. Well, let's do a pop-up event in Florida. Maybe even in their parking lot. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like you can do I'm obsessed with bubble gum and tape. This stuff doesn't have to be fancy. You can always be from the streets of Jersey, So.
In this scary phase of AI that we're in right now, are there any brands that are leveraging AI in a smart way that you could share with us?
Internally, a lot of companies are using it, again, to make decks, like all this intro stuff. The reason no one's doing the external is all the biggest companies in the world know that there's huge litigation brewing on copyright and trademark. Right, brands know that they can make a 30-second commercial right now in AI in 2 seconds. They don't know where it came from, and they don't want the litigation. So we probably have a half a decade worth of misunderstanding and clarity needs before we get true, law. This internet 96 to 2001 was scary for me because we didn't have the Internet Act in 2001. The blockchain NFTs is scary for me right now because I'm waiting for the government for clarity. AI is going to be the same. So you won't see brands go too crazy just yet because they won't use it for content because they don't need a letter from Disney saying this inspired by Mickey Mouse, you owe us $400 trillion. The reason I use day trading is, there's two different ways to invest. You invest like me, which is you make different big bets and you go to sleep and you know that your grandkids are gonna be happy or unhappy with you. Or you day trade and you're making it in the margins hour by hour. And both are different ways to do it. Marketing used to be the other way. 9 months, we're gonna plan the campaign and we're gonna pray that it works out. And now it's, if you are not marketing every single day, someone's outflanking you. It's hard, and I'm empathetic. By the way, I wish it wasn't like this. I wish I was Don Draper. I wish I was chilling in Midtown, drinking for 4 hours, coming up with a slogan, and you're thrilled with it. That would be a great life. It's just not the reality of what we live in, and so I think that influencers is something you have to figure out. It's why I bought a publishing company. I actually think advertorial is something people should be doing more of. I don't know if you know what green screening is. It's when you see people, right? You've seen it, I see some people shaking, but for the ones that don't know, in TikTok or Instagram, you see a person talking, but in the background, it's like a headline. I think you should be buying advertorial. You should definitely connect them to GaryMedia Group, because then you're writing your own, got it? Good, thank you. Oh, that's right, I'm sorry, that's right. That's gonna work. You're literally writing the headline you want people to know, and then you have a human endorsing it. That's pretty good. And so there's a reason the FTC is starting to get really involved with influencer marketing. You're gonna start seeing content a year from now of big red ad. Because it's just, their concern is, do customers know? The answer is no. It's so seamless, the marketing, right? It's not a commercial, it's not a print ad. And so there's a lot going on, but influencer is a place you gotta keep hacking at. You becoming the influencer, though, is the holy grail. What I do for a living right now is try and get you to be in a place where you're not at the mercy of the influencer and not at the mercy of the celebrity and not at the mercy of the retailer. That is my obsession. And that's what needs to be your obsession. Otherwise, it's gonna cost you more money to do business, right? And that's why marketing is it. You just have to be as great as, if you have $1, how do you make it work, right? A lot of times in this scenario, people are like, Gary, we don't have I'm like, good news. Your competitors that are spending 18 times more than you are wasting every dollar. So if you spend your dollars properly, you can actually grow. That's why brands grow. I don't have to explain to anybody here, you're in the business. Many brands get big with less budget. They did the right thing. Money is not the variable, otherwise there'd be no new brands.